We are starting with a slab of clay that was rolled on a slab roller to 3/8 of an inch thick. It is longer this way than it is in height, and I'm going to roll the rolling pin when we roll it that direction so that I can get a little bit more movement that direction so we have a better shape for a large bowl. This is the mold we'll be using. And as you can see, we'll barely have enough, but if we roll the texture, that will bring some more clay the direction we need. So the first part is we are going to roll this lovely mat that was from Temu or Dollarama, I cannot remember. As always with these mats, start in the middle. Go in a few quadrants. What you want is you want to get it totally attached to the clay so you don't get any ripples or wrinkles. Now we're going to have to do a few extra flips on this one. And my clay is really wet, so we are going to put cornstarch on both the clay and the roller. This just dries that top layer ever so slightly so it doesn't stick and get embedded into your rolling pin. So I will do one roll right down the middle. I figured this pin would look really good with the mat that we have going on the other side. Just a little bit of clay stuck in there. And we'll just roll the edges. I find sometimes if you roll right off, it alleviates that clay sticking. If you stop on the clay, sometimes it'll suck those edges in. I think this will be on the inside. Okay. Who needs to go to the gym when you work with clay all day long, flipping things? So I think we have this. This actually helps because it has that center medallion there that we can use to find our center. And I'll just slide this to the edge. Okay, we will take our mat off again. Starting very gently. And once you get it released about halfway, you'll be able to pull it all the way off. It has to come off because it will make things too sticky or too stiff. So as we did in the nesting bowls, where we got our inspiration from this, we are going to start working the clay in toward the bowl. Now, slightly different than when we did our nesting bowls. This time we're looking for nice, soft, oops, I've got my cord wrapped around in there. My goodness. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have as many ripples as I really wanted. We're going to go with, because it's not round, we're going to go with a really organic shape. And we are not going to cut it as a circle. And I am coaxing the clay to have some ripples in it. Okay, I am going to start cutting some of this clay off. As I said, I don't want it to be circular, so I am going to intentionally cut waves in it. We're going to follow those lines of the mat going in and out. And we're keeping those curves nice and soft because we don't want sharp points. And you just go around, and if you see some that are too long, you can trim those off a bit. Of course, we can't make the too short ones any longer, but we just work with it. Okay. So now I'm going to carry on making the ripples and pushing the part that isn't rippled, or the wave, into the form. The other thing we could have done is cut a crazy wavy shape before we flipped it. So a lot of the cleanup on this is going to have to be done when it is flipped over. Well, I must apologize for that. The battery died and I did not catch it, so you missed the comedy hour here at Twisted Tree Frog. I, as you can see, got it off of the larger bat. I put it onto a smaller bat and still wasn't happy. So now it is sitting elevated on a big jug so that it can freely hang over. I have this little Kemper tool, a K34. It is the tiniest little knife in the world, and it is perfect for this sort of thing. So I will carry on with this and bring you back when it's ready to come out of the mold. We'll do a bunch of cleanup then and some fine tuning with these edges. So it's already started to stiffen up quite nicely, so I will see you probably in about an hour, hour and a half, and we'll get the rest of this bowl done. Well, we are back. Our bowl has been sitting for a couple hours, and let's see how it is doing. This is always a little trickier when it's on something other than a bat. This poor bowl's been through a lot. Hopefully it makes it. There we go. How cool is that? Okay. First things first. I think it's firm enough to do this. We'll soon find out. So all I'm doing here is taking some of the unevenness off. It's nice that it's still soft. I don't think it's soft enough anymore, though, to adjust the waves. So this really roughs up the edges, but sometimes really roughing the edges up allows you to smooth them out easier than if they're just a little bit rough. So I'm just trying to make the rim roughly all the same thickness. Okay, now we'll take a damp sponge and we're just going to do the frowning frog face and go around supporting the rim a little bit. It is soft, not soft enough to really play with the waves. So something to keep in mind when you're doing cool things like this that can get rather large is always make sure that they'll fit in your kiln. So if you only have an 18-inch kiln, don't do a 20-inch bowl. Okay. And any other cleanup, and actually there won't be as much as I first thought, will have to be done when it's set up and leather hard. But honestly, this actually cleaned up really well considering it was such a work in progress as we were going along. So I will play with it a little bit more because the technique is going to be the same. I just have to sit and fiddle with it and get it to the point that I like the rim. Then it will get covered with plastic and allowed to slowly dry. My kiln room, when I'm not firing, has a door on it, and it stays a little cooler in there than in the main part of the studio, and I will put it in there on the shelves and let it slowly dry. It will probably take a couple of weeks to dry, and then it will be good to go. And actually I will be able to play with these ripples a bit, but I won't bore you with it. It's just a matter of personal preference, what you want your bowl to do. And that's all she wrote on this. This would make a beautiful fruit bowl. Well, there we have it. We have our beautiful scalloped bowl, organic, which is my favorite shape. As I mentioned, it is going to dry slowly in a cooler room under plastic, probably for a couple weeks, and then I will fire it and put some glazes that show that beautiful texture coming through. As always, I would like to thank you for joining me today. It's always fantastic when you drop in, and I do appreciate you taking time out of your day to join along. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to put those down in the comment section, and I will link things in the description that I used today, as long as I can find where I bought them from. It is always a good thing if you can like and subscribe. It's a heartfelt thanks if you can do that. And if you want to be notified when the videos come out, just hit that little bell up top and it will tell you whenever there's a new release. We all really appreciate our YouTube followers. It is fantastic to have you along on this journey, and I love making videos and hope that you join along on the next one. Thank you again. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining in, and we will see you next time. Go play in the studio, get muddy, have a lot of fun. That's what it's all about. Don't worry about making things perfect. If they want perfect, they can go buy it from a manufacturer. Thanks again. Have a fantastic day.